So I'm really looking forward to this conversation. I'm a huge fan of books on crime. And if you guys feel the same way, you have to be a fan of Hussain Zaidi, who is really the foremost crime journalist, crime writer in India. Hussain's written the most comprehensive accounts on the Mumbai Mafia.
Thank you very much. बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया. आदाब ज़रा नवाजी का शुक्रिया. Sorry.
And so, as you all must know, it started with Black Friday, and I want to start the conversation. So you had been a crime journalist for a few years, and you fell into the crime beat with no intention. It just came to you. At what point did you decide that you wanted to write a book, and why did that topic sort of drive you to do so?
I am an accidental writer. I never had this plan to become an author. You must have heard Mr. Vikram Chandra's name. Mr. Vikram Chandra had come to Mumbai somewhere in 1996, and he was researching for his book, Sacred Games. Now it's a series on Netflix. I used to take him around to Karim Lala's house, Hussain Ustra's den, Arun Gavli's Dagdi Chawl, that very notorious address in Mumbai. So I was taking him around and introduced him to a lot of gangsters, a lot of bad places, a lot of hitmen, bars. After a year, he said, Hussain, have you ever thought of writing a book? I said, me? I mean, I'm good as a journalist writing 400-word story every day. I can't write a book. I mean, it's something someone who's living in the skies will be doing it. I am not capable of doing a book. Then he encouraged me and he said it's about, like a collection of 50 articles becomes one book. So like, if you write one article of 1,000 words, make it 50 articles in different chapters and becomes a book. And then he started slowly giving me the golden principles of book writing. And that's how Black Friday happened. I mean, I didn't know I'm going to write Black Friday because when I met David Davidar first time, he was the chief man at Penguin. And then we discussed, he wanted me to do Haji Mastan, wanted me to do some profile of Dawood, all that. But then we zeroed down on Mumbai 93 serial blast. So, as a journalist, they're always arrogant people. Journalists are not humble people. I know them. I worked with them for 25 years. So then I thought, I can finish this in a year's time because Crime Branch has already filed a charge sheet of 10,000 pages. They have already got 200 accused and some 700 witnesses. So doing this in a 2 months' time won't be so difficult. But then when I started writing it, it took more than 4 years for me to finish Black Friday. And when I finished, Anurag Kashyap saw that book and he said immediately wanted to do a movie on it. Because it became a movie, other publishers approached me to write more books. And then I started writing more and more books, and that's the history now.
Right. So I was so interested, when Outlook published that article on Dawood saying public enemy #1, and he was very angry and had their offices vandalized. So weren't you nervous when you wrote this book and you were quite clear about the connections between the attacks and Dawood? Did you receive any threats after that?
No, I have received threats, but not soon after that. I received threats somewhere in 2003 and 4 when I started writing about Chota Shakil and his girlfriend. So Chota Shakil was supposed to be a guy who was managing the gang. He was the CEO of Dawood Ibrahim gang. But then he was also supposed to be flirting with wives of his imprisoned gangster. Those were his gang. And his wives were out. One Mirza Arif Beg and his wife Shamim Banu was living in Baikala. So Mumbai police had intercepted some calls between Chota Shakil and the Shamim Begum where they both are having flirtatious conversation. So then I wrote a front page midday article, Chota Shakil flirting with his lieutenant's wife. Shakil was very angry, livid. He wanted to get me killed. So then I had to run for my life. I went to Chennai, hid there for 10 days. All that happened. But after that, I thought, why should I hide so much? Then I went to Pakistan. I traveled to Karachi. I told you, journalists are really arrogant people. So, I was a journalist then. I reached Karachi. I called Chota Shakil. I said, Shakil bhai, I'm standing here at the airport. There's a McDonald's here. I'm sitting right there. I'll be here for 3 hours. Send as many gunmen as you want and get me killed. The man was totally surprised. He said, "Aap Pakistan mein ho?" I said, "मैं कराची में हूँ, यहाँ खड़ा हुआ हूँ." He said, नहीं नहीं मैं कराची में नहीं हूँ. I said, आपके लोग होंगे ना? Please send them. Let them come and kill me. He said, नहीं नहीं ऐसी बातें क्या कर रहे हो? आप मेरे मेहमान हो. I said, what? मेहमान हूँ. You wanted to kill me and now मैं आपके मेहमान हूँ. So somehow he changed his mind and then he said, okay, and we became friends again. So I got some threats from Chota Shakil, from Abu Salim and others, but Daud did not threaten me. I think in that course of the interview that I had with him, he got angry once. I told him, why do you do drug business? And Daud said, Zaidi साहब, अगर आप मेरे मतलब मैं आपकी इज्जत ना करता होता, तो बॉम्बे में बहुत से एक्सीडेंट होते रहते हैं.
Oh God.
And I imagined a truck coming and I'm walking on
That's
the
a
road
threat,
and it runs over me. लेकिन चूंकि मैं आपकी इज्जत करता हूँ इसलिए मैंने इस सवाल को इग्नोर कर दिया. ठीक है. So that's the time he threatened me. Otherwise, the whole interview went off peacefully. I published and then we were okay.
It was okay.
Yeah.
So you've covered, I mean, something that no one had done before. You've covered in Dongri to Dubai, the first 60 years of the mafia in Mumbai. And the book that has come out this month has sort of, it brings it up to date to basically 2023. So it's really like this incredible history and coverage of what's been happening. I was just wondering, you know, after you finished Dongri to Dubai, did you feel like you were done? You'd worked for years on that book. And did you sort of expect to be looking in such detail at this whole situation again?
So the reason behind doing Dongri to Dubai was that while I was writing Mafia Black Friday, I realized that there is no full-fledged research work on Dawood Ibrahim. As in, no book has been written about Dawood, nothing has been written about Haji Hussain, Kareem Lala, Chota Shakil. I just thought I will do a very detailed, comprehensive profile of these gangsters. That's why I started writing Dongri to Dubai. So now, you know, after US declared him as a, you know, world's most wanted terrorist, I thought after 2005, there's not much about Dawood. Maybe he'll take sannyas, maybe he'll go to Mecca, he'll become a good Muslim. I thought now I don't have to write about him. But then I realized in 2023 that Dawood has now become a power broker in Pakistan. He has started choosing prime ministers and deposing them. Like if you read in my new book, Dubai to Karachi, he's the one, and there are detailed citations in my book, where he's the man who chose Imran Khan to be the Prime Minister of Pakistan, and then he deposed him as and when he wanted. Not only that, so many other things that you read there, that he became the most powerful man in Pakistan, while Dawood is just a fugitive gangster from India. So then again, it got me, you know, into action that I should write another, what you call a sequel for his story. So my story earlier was until Dubai to Dongri to Dubai. This one is from Dubai to Karachi. I hope this completes the saga until his death, unless he goes and does something new.
Well, he's bound to. He's so powerful now, as you say in your book. There's this line which I really liked in Black Friday. You have this conversation between DCP Patnaik, and he's being shown around the city by the sub-inspector. And the sub-inspector is saying, so this area belongs to Dawood, that area belongs to Gauli, that one to Amar Nayak. And the DCP gets so angry, and he says, what are you talking about? Why are you saying that the city belongs to these gangsters? I'm just wondering, has Bombay changed since, Mumbai changed since then?
Yeah, I think it has. So the story that she is referring to, it's from Black Friday. Black Friday. So Arup Patnaik was a newly appointed officer in Mumbai in Zone 7, Bandra area, western suburbs. So this constable was taking him across the city. So he said, Dongri, Dawood ka area hai, Baikala, Gavli ka area hai, then Grant Road, Kareem Lala ka area hai, then Chinchpokli and Dadar is Amar Naik ka area. So like Patnaik was, you know, quiet for an hour. I mean, going through all that tour that this constable Mani was taking him around. Then suddenly he asked, अच्छा यहाँ पुलिस का कौन सा एरिया है? So the entire Mumbai was ruled by the gangsters, and there was no police ka area. But then what happened in somewhere in 2003, I think 10 years after 1993, Mumbai police decided that enough is enough. Now they have to decimate all the gangsters. And you will not believe that there are 3 encounter specialists who formed P gang. So there is a D gang, and the police has a P gang. So P gang kind of finished the D gang in Mumbai, and now it's the P gang ruling the roost in the city. Of course, there are corruption cases, incompetence, and you see a lot of things there, but at least P gang rules, not the D anymore.
Okay, that's interesting. So, and does Dawood have still some sway in Bombay?
Of
in
course,
Mumbai?
he's the most powerful man in
Still,
India, by the way, yes. In hiding, there was a time when he had so many MPs on his roll. He has a lot of senior officers, at his beck and call. In those days, he was openly, partying with the film stars. There are stars who are going to Dubai, meeting him. We all know those names. They are there in my books. I don't want to repeat them here. So there was a time when he was very open about these things.
Yeah.
But now, since the time there was this MCOCA and there are those very stringent laws, that Dawood has kind of now become very discreet. He is now keeping his connections close to himself and not revealing it. Otherwise, we know so many MPs, we know so many MLAs, we know so many big guys who are close to Dawood, even now in India, in Mumbai.
This is the thing, when you think about Mumbai and the mafia, and you just feel almost like this could only happen in Mumbai. And I don't know if it's like the amounts of money that are there, that's the glamour of Bollywood. Can you tell us a little bit about those interconnections, and is it just really difficult for people in power to stay out of the mafia, or does the mafia have their hands everywhere?
See, we must understand that Mumbai is the financial capital of this country, and there are people who want to wield power in Mumbai. They want to become very powerful, whether those are film stars, those are sportsmen, or politicians. Business tycoons, they all want to have power and they want to have this kind of influence in the city. Now, we all know that politicians or cops or anyone for that matter will become weak if there's a mafia hand there. There are so many cases where mafia has managed to step in and resolve those issues. One chapter that I'll try to bring your attention to, we have two gutka barons in Mumbai. And I've written the story in very huge detail in this book, but you can kind of go and refer. Manikchand, Dhariwal, and Jagdish Joshi. They both of them went to gutka, and they had huge business in Mumbai. Then they had a dispute. In 2003, both these business tycoons, instead of approaching High Court, instead of going to police, instead of going to any politician, say CM or Deputy Chief Minister, Home Minister, they both decided to go to Pakistan, Karachi, via Dubai, through a Khancha route. You know what is a Khancha route? No. Khancha route is something which is used by terrorists to travel to Pakistan. They will go to Dubai. ISI will take them to Karachi without a stamp of arrival or departure on their passport. They will go to Karachi, and then they will get there trained for 20 days, a month, or whatever. And then he'll come back. Again, there will be no stamp on his passport. That is called Khancha route, where nobody knows about your travel to Pakistan. So these two gutka barons who are into an industry which is now, pegged at something like 20,000 crore. Such big people could have gone to Supreme Court, could have gone to any High Court, but they decided to go to Karachi through this Khancha route, have a meeting with Dawood Ibrahim, where Dawood mediated, became an arbiter, and he decided that, okay, give me 11 crore rupees as a goodwill money, and give me the gutka technology, because my brother Anis Ibrahim can have a firebrand gutka in Pakistan. Until then, nobody knew to make gutka in Pakistan. After 2003, because of these two people and the settlement they had with Dawood Ibrahim, firebrand gutka became a rage in Pakistan.
Wow.
And they both came back to Mumbai, and CBI kind of wanted to first implicate them, indict them in the case, but something happened. They became witness in the case. One of them died. One of them is still out having fun. So my whole point is, this is what happens. All powerful people want to go there. And like, for example, so many politicians. I remember that I was a midday journalist in somewhere around 2004. And there was a government, I'll not name the minister, but there was this government who wanted to come back to power, and they don't know what to do. So at that time, a deputy chief minister, who was also involved in Telgi scam from Bangalore. So, they will all remember Telgi and they'll remember all those things. He wanted to get some power in South Mumbai, where most of the mafia guys are. He opened his office with the left-hand manager of Dawood, called Salim Driver. Deputy Chief Minister. Why does it need that kind of connection? So I'm saying that there are so many such stories where you will see that politicians and tycoons and film stars, so many names I can kind of rattle out about their connection with Dawood and Mafia.
Yeah.
So they want to be connected because they feel it's powerful. They want to be powerful. There's one particular film star, I will not name him, but he is known for moving around in the Bollywood circles, and whenever somebody will tell him anything, his patent dialogue, "Ab bhi bhai se baat hua, ab bhi bhai ka phone rakha." Why? Why do you have to do that?
Yeah.
Why talking to bhai is such a big deal? Why do you have to say "ab bhi phone rakha"? I mean, you know, he feels some power in that.
Right.
So, well, there is some connection, some mystery which I don't understand why, how.
Right. Because, you know, before, I suppose when Bollywood, they require a lot of money for their productions. And I guess it was clear that the Mafia would step in that gap. But now there are these huge studios funding them. So they don't really need Mafia money, but yet they're still very involved, are they not?
I think it's a wrong perception because, well, they have corporatized everything and the finance has been now, you know, there is a regularization of everything. But that's only for the A-level production houses,
Right.
for the A-level things. What about the C-level, where they have to make movies and they don't get any funding from banks? No financier is supporting them. So what they have to do, that they will produce the movies any which way, and then not just Dawood, but all those guys who want to fund them and finance them, they're still producing. So there's still some cases, sometimes they get caught, they are interrogated, they are questioned, sometimes they manage to go scot-free.
Right. You talk about a conspiracy of silence in Bollywood.
Yes, yeah. So people, they see, the whole thing is that because there's a proverb in Urdu, is hammam mein sab nange. So that's the whole thing. In entire Bollywood, people are connected to some way or the other. I mean, I'm not saying all, but maybe a good number of people are connected with Dawood and they still use his money and they still funnel those things in their projects. So they can't disconnect and they all are trying to be, main bhi chup, tum bhi chup, and let's go to business, yeah.
So is it also power when, you know, you say that young men come up to you all the time and they ask you, what does he look like? And can you tell me more about him? And I want to be a part of his team. What is that? I mean, is it just them being starstruck and why are they unaware of the extent of the things he does? Dawood.
Well, they know, but I know there is certain glamour in Mumbai Mafia, or rather, somehow they still want to look at Dawood and they want to look at me as a man who has a lot of power in the country. So they feel there is some glamour, some connection, and they want to rub off their power on himself. I mean, all those film stars or youngsters, I mean, in this, I don't know that people have seen my YouTube channel, but you will see a lot of people comment and they say that I want to join the D gang. I want to join the company. Why? 20-year-old right outside the college and they want to join D gang. I mean, there are so many comments. I want to become a shooter. Why? Today. Why a college boy or 20-year-old wants to become a shooter or join the company? Similarly, film stars or all those guys. Something about Dawood, I don't understand why there is such an attraction about his name and why people want to get associated with him.
I guess it's the Dongri to Dubai story, right? This boy from, and it's such a film story. His father was a cop and...
Yeah. His father, I mean, as I said, it's a very strange story that this guy was a very honest head constable.
Yeah.
And then his son, but then there was poverty. He had 10 children to feed. You know, 7 boys and 3 girls, 10 children, and he can't feed them in a salary of rupees 66. So what will do? I mean, he was not able to pay attention towards the upbringing of his children. So Dawood and Sabit, they went to become gangsters. Now at that time, Pathans were trying to rule the city. They were being very violent. They were trying to, you know, kill, extort, brutalize, and police didn't know how to handle them. So this interesting episode in this book of mine is that there was this crime journalist Iqbal Natik. He approached Inspector Ranveer Likha, and Ranveer says, I am totally upset about this way Pathans are moving around the city. They have no respect for the law of the land. What do I do? Iqbal Natik tells him, Sahab, have you seen Sholay? See, imagine, in 1977, one crime journalist is trying to remind one police officer, have you seen Sholay? Ranveer Likha lost his head. He said, are you mad? I am upset about the law and order situation here. You want me to go out and watch a movie? He said, no, your solution is in Sholay. You get other gangsters to finish off Pathans. And then he suggested that he should involve Ibrahim Bhai ke ladke, that is Ibrahim head constable, and his sons Dawood and Sabir to finish off Pathan Mafia. Ranbir Ligha at that time dismissed the whole idea, finding to be preposterous idea. But then soon after he saw at an intersection in Baikala that Dawood was beating up a hefty Pathan on the road. And then he realized that perhaps he can use Dawood to neutralize Pathan Mafia. And that's how the whole thing happened. So what happened to Sholay? Lohe ko loha kaatta hai. That way.
So, you know, you have like the most amazing stories, but being a crime journalist is really dangerous. I mean, you have to go to like some crazy places, talk to some very angry people. You've actually personally been affected in the sense that there were those two journalists that you mentored.
Yeah.
Yeah, and who had these personal...
See, for all the journalists, I have given them one golden rule that try to treat your subject as just a subject. Don't try to wine and dine with them. Don't try to become friends with them. Don't try to establish a relationship with them. Don't go to their parties and don't call them to your parties. Now, both this, protege of mine, they did not follow this rule. They started making Rakhi brother, Rakhi sister. They started going to the shadis. They started calling them bhai. They were on the speed dial. I said, if you'll do this mistake, you'll realize that soon they will think that they own you. And once if they feel betrayed and they think that you have not been affiliated with them anymore, or you have changed sides, you'll be in danger. Well, both of them did not pay heed to this advice of mine, and they have paid for it by some trouble. I mean, one of them got imprisoned and the other one got killed. So my whole thing is that as a journalist, we should draw a Lakshman Rekha. I love this concept of Lakshman Rekha, that you should not cross the line in every profession. At least a journalist should always know that this is the line he's not supposed to cross. So even if I see any aspiring journalist here or any crime journalist, they should not try to mingle with their sources. Never get close to them. I mean, we see a lot of movies that they are drinking together. Please don't. In fact, I'll tell you that I don't even say Eid Mubarak to Chota Shakil, or I don't even say happy birthday to them. And if they at all send message to me, I don't respond to their messages. So my whole point is we have to draw a line. We have to kind of keep distance with them, and only then we'll be neutral and will not be into any personal danger.
You brought up a line about the sources, and in fact, your latest book, Dubai to Karachi, got kicked off by this very peculiar person who just came up to you and started talking to you.
Yeah.
And he has a very interesting name, right?
Yeah. You want to talk about him?
Yes, please.
She's hinting towards a guy who kind of got me started about this book, Dubai to Karachi. So I was trying to make sense of this, glut of information that I had, so much, material, and I didn't know what I will do with it. And when I was still confused, suddenly I get a call from a guy, and he tells me that he has plenty of stories to share, only if I come and see him somewhere. He will not come to Mumbai. I have to leave India and go and meet him abroad. And he made two very strange offers. He said, I can go for pilgrimage to Mecca, Medina, where he'll meet me there. I said, I'll not meet you in Mecca, Medina. Then he suggested some other place, and then we settled down on meeting in Abu Dhabi in IFA Awards. I mean, how they keep track, na? That what are the events happening, where I can go out, where they can lose themselves, and where I can talk to them. So anyway, I met this guy and I was surprised to see him. He's a lookalike of this Hollywood hero, Sean Connery. He's a very rich guy, green card holder, Pakistani, settled in US. And he traveled all the way from there to IFA Awards. And he came and he shared a lot of stuff. And not only that, if you read in the book, he was quite a torturer. He made me travel to Stockholm just to make me understand what is Stockholm Syndrome. So I think you should read the book only for these kind of experiences. I mean, for me, I was going through those trouble, and I was not liking the way he was trying to, rule my life and, try to treat me as a puppet. But in the end, I thought that the material that I got, the content I got was really worth it.
Right.
So that Kamal Hassan.
What's his name?
His name is Kamal Hassan, and when he met me in IFA Awards, I was watching the performance of Mr. Kamal Hassan. I like adored Kamal Hassan, and at that time when I'm watching him with utmost interest and the whole thing, suddenly someone comes and sit next to me. I said, "Mera naam Kamal hai." So there's Kamal Hassan and there's Kamal Hassan. So kind of I was quite confused with these two gentlemen, but anyway, that's the beginning of my story, and that's what Deepthi was hinting at.
So since I know this is Mumbai Mafia, but I was just wondering, do you have any anecdotes of the Bangalore Mafia, or have you had any interactions with them?
See, she has brought Bangalore Mafia. I was trying to avoid it. It was about Mumbai Mafia. Well, I'll tell you what, that I've written a lot of stuff about Bangalore Mafia or the gangsters from Karnataka. And I found that Sadhu Shetty, Muttappa Rai, Sharat Shetty, and all these gangsters, you'll find that among the brainiest one in Daud gang. Daud gang people are not very smart. They are violent. I mean, they can kind of threaten people. But when it comes to money, when it comes to being a very smart, shrewd, manipulative, you will see that they can be only found in Karnataka. So all those guys, Sharat Shetty was the man who was looking after Daud's cricket betting racket. We all know. And when Choda wanted to hurt Daud, he killed Sharat Shetty. And that's where Daud's cricket betting was majorly affected because of this. So then we all know about others, who are from Bangalore. There is an entire book written about them, Bhais of Bengaluru, which was published under my imprint, Blue Salt. Jyoti Shila has done that. She interviewed Muttappa Rai, and she has done a lot of other interviews there about the Bangalore gangsters who have helped the Mumbai Mafia becoming big.
Right.
Had it not been the Bangalore gangsters or Karnataka gangsters, Mumbai Mafia would not have been so powerful.
What is the one thing you would say has really surprised you about the Mafia through your interactions with them?
Shall I be very honest?
Yes, please.
I thought that they are very coward, brainless people. And they became big only because we agreed to be scared of them, or we allowed them to become big. Otherwise, imagine a jobless man who could not secure a good job, a person who has not finished his college degree. He's just holding a gun at you and is threatening you so that you can pay up or you can agree to pay money to him. I mean, that's how. We all know that Daud, who was living in that Dongri area, Park Modia Street, he had threatened all those businessmen, all those traders. But if you read this book called Dangerous Dozens, you will see one particular incident where one trader, one businessman who was kind of very depressed with his no business and he had going through bad times, when the one gangster came to him and pointed a gun, he said, "You can kill me." And when the gangster tried to shoot, his gun was not cocked. You have to cock a gun before you have to shoot. The man was so stupid that he did not cock his gun before opening fire at him, which this businessman realized. He had a hockey stick in his dukan. He just picked up the hockey stick and kind of beat him up so badly that he kind of fainted, and then he was put behind the bars for 6 months. Right. After 6 months, he thought he'll come back and take revenge. So when he came and again pointed a gun at this guy, and he said, "Ab to tujhe maari dalunga." He said, "Okay, beta, dekh lo banduk mein goliyan hai ki nahi." And this guy started trying to see if there are bullets in his gun or not. Again, this man picked up something and threw on his head. So, you should read this chapter. It's quite funny. This man was trying to become a poet. His name was Umar Dhadkan. Dhadkan is a heartbeat. His name was Umar Asif Dhadkan. He was trying to do poetry. But after this 2 fiasco, he was called Umar Dhakkan. Now, like this businessman, if all of us can refuse to be afraid of the mafia, if we can refuse to not take seriously their threats, I think they will never become so big. They are playing on our fears. They are capitalizing on our fear, on our insecurities. So my whole thing is that these are brainless people. Ask them to, do things in a very smart way, they will not be able to execute all those stuff. So that's the secret of Mumbai Mafia.
Thank you. Shall we open it up for questions? Yeah. All right. Someone is going around the mic? I'm sure there'll be a lot, so let's just keep it to questions and one per person, please.
Will you be able to finish all the questions?
I don't think so. I should have given.
Should have started.
Hello, sir. Welcome to Bangalore.
Thank you.
This reading Dongri to Dubai made me come back to reading books again.
Oh.
So I just wanted to ask you a question about some of your experience talking with Dawood, and maybe year after, maybe I just read in the novel Dongri to Dubai. Maybe did you try to contact him again, anything like that or something? Some experience with Dawood about this interview that you have written.
You mean how did I feel like talking to him?
Huh?
You asking me how do I feel like talking to him?
No, not that. Maybe did you talk to him once again after that? Because as he was having a lot of controls.
No, I have no interest. I don't want to talk to him. I don't want to meet him. Not because I'm scared, but see, meeting and talking to him will bring bad name to me. Unnecessary cost will come to my door, ask me details, question, statement. I'm not interested in all that. I'm happy as I am. He's not some film star. Or not someone that I should go and meet and talk to him.
And one more small question is that now you can see there was one murder that happened in Bandra area about a politician. I don't recall his name particularly. Baba Siddiqui, yes. So about that, do you have any idea about that linking to Mumbai?
Yeah, I have an idea. I know the whole story. I've written about that in Times of India. I know. Let's not talk about it.
That's it, sir. I think.
Yes.
There are more questions.
Please get the mic to this.
Yeah.
Hi, sir. My name is Ansh. I grew up in Mumbai. I grew up in Bhandup, which used to be a mill area, still probably the only place in Mumbai where there are a few mills left.
Yeah.
And when I was growing up, there was a gang war there. As a kid, obviously, I had no idea what was going on. But now that I have grown up and I see the connection between the mill areas, the unions and the mafia, harks back to Arun Gowli and his Baikala company. My question is, why is this connection existing between unions and the mafia? What is it that brings them together, and why do you think Arun Gowli was able to profit off of these people for so long?
See, mafia gets attracted towards anything which has money power and the manpower. Unions have both. They have a lot of money and they have a lot of men. So mafia wants to make inroads into them and try to somehow grab the power. So a lot of money and a lot of men. That's the idea. And when somebody else became the union leader and he realized that they are not listening to the mafia bosses, he got killed. So that's the reason. Simple.
So we've seen a lot of times that journalists get into legal troubles because of their connections with mafia or gangsters. Any incidents that you faced in your life?
I have not gone to any legal trouble. You can see today it's a Google world. In this 25 years, touch wood, I have never been to trouble except for once. And it didn't become legal trouble. I had interviewed Arun Gowli in Aurangabad jail. So it is not easy for anyone to go and meet a gangster inside the jail except for the family. But as a journalist, I managed to get inside that high security prison and interview him. So once the interview was published in that newspaper, I was called by Joint Commissioner Crime, and he said that I want you to reveal the source. Now, I had promised my source I'll not reveal that. So the Joint Commissioner threatened to book me under Section 60 of CRPC Evidence Act, where he says I can book you and you'll be in jail for 3 months. Now, because I had given my word and there is something like commitment and loyalty, I said I will still not reveal the source to you, even if you arrest me. So he realized that he cannot get anywhere by threatening or by booking me in a case. So it didn't become a legal issue. But besides that, there's been nothing. No inquiry, no question, nothing at all, by the grace of God.
Is it true that your deceased murdered colleague, late Jyotirmoy De's father-in-law's surname is Sharma? And if you would have been alive today, late Jyotirmoy De, would you have been dead?
What, after his father-in-law, what? I know his wife's name is Shubha Sharma.
Jyotirmoy De's
Jyoti De,
father-in-law's surname is Sharma?
Yeah. He's married to Shubha Sharma. Shubha Sharma is a journalist, a colleague of mine, yeah.
Okay. And if you would have been alive today, would you have been dead?
You mean if Day was alive today?
Yeah.
So who would have been dead? Who would have been alive? Sorry. What's the connection? Sorry.
have been dead. What was the...
No, there was a particular reason that Day was targeted, right?
See, Jyoti was my protege. I taught him crime journalism. He was my student. He was 15 years older to me, but I taught him crime journalism. And otherwise, he was an environmental journalist. He used to cover environment and he used to cover red light area. So in those days, journalists are very mean people. They don't try to be nice to their colleagues. So when in the office of Indian Express newsroom, whenever Day used to walk, he was a well-built 6-feet man, muscular, huge. So when we used to walk into the newsroom, the reporters of Express newsroom used to tease him. ये देखो आ गया है रंडी बीट कवर करने वाला. So they used to kind of demean him, humiliate him. So he came to me and said, Hussain bhai, I want to learn crime journalism. I made him a crime journalist and we both were very close to each other. And he, after becoming a good journalist, he wanted to become an author. I was also helping to become an author. He wrote 2 books after I kind of helped him that. Now I don't know about the connection, whether he was alive, I would have been dead. I do not understand that. But he got killed because Mafia misunderstood. Chhota Rajan thought that he is close to Iqbal Mirchi. And perhaps they thought that he's plotting to kill them. Though I don't believe in all that story, the reason is something else, totally different. But he got killed because of a misunderstanding between Mafia guys. Had he been alive, I don't think I would have been dead. I mean, life and death in the hands of God. I mean, I have survived 2 bomb blasts. I mean, not the bomb blast in Mumbai, in Kashmir and in Iraq. So I'm saying that if bomb blasts have not killed me, why would a reporter's life would? So simple.
Yeah, hi Hussain, here. Hussain, this side.
Hello, sir. I've been a huge fan of your work. I've read a lot of your work.
Thank you.
I have 2 questions for you. One is, why did you switch from true crime to fiction? Or, I mean, you're still continuing with true crime, but you have things like Mumbai Avengers and a few other books which are dealing in fiction. What made you switch? And also, what do you think of the current state of crime journalism? In the sense that what you mentioned earlier, it was very visible. Now it is much more subdued, or they have found out ways. So is it because of that, or what do you think of crime journalism today?
I'll answer your first question. Second question first. Crime journalism has lost spine. They are not strong, they are not brave anymore. They used to be earlier in my days. They were not having any fear in exposing the ministers or some big wigs or any top police officers. But today, crime reporters are not that strong anymore, which is why you will see that one crime journalist, when she was arrested in Mumbai, none of the crime journalists supported him. So I don't think that it's now in a very good state or very commendable state. So crime journalism, I mean, I have said about it earlier, and crime reporters fraternity have boycotted me, and they have said mean things about me. But that's the truth. The first question, why I started writing fiction? Because there are so many stories in true crime where you have to give citations, documents, paper, proof, stuff that will support and substantiate your story in true crime. She's the editor here. You can ask her. They don't allow you to write a single line without it being substantiated by the facts, by a published newspaper story or a government document. And if you don't have either, then they will ask you, have you spoken to this gangster or this police officer personally? So unless I don't say this, the true crime story will not get published. Now, for fiction, there are a lot of stuff that you know, but you can't support with document. So at least you can write those things, but my fiction are not entirely fiction. For example, recently this book, Black Orphan, has a lot of facts in it. 6 nuclear scientists lost their lives. It's a fact. Osama had one adopted daughter who's missing. We have not found her anymore. In Osama's killing, one Indian was involved, which ungrateful Americans have never acknowledged. So these are all those facts which we have. So I have kind of tried to say whatever I can say, being in the perimeter of the facts and then some fiction. But the stories are still major. A large part of it is factual. That's the reason. But blame it on the editors and publishers. Sir.
Hussain, yeah, this side, please.
Oh, this one.
Yeah, I need your attention, please.
Ji.
Yeah. So, what are your thoughts on Bishnoi gang? And do you foresee this gang could be the next Dawood in terms of the outreach?
You ask me about Lawrence Bishnoi gang.
Yes.
What do you want me to tell you?
What are your thoughts on Lawrence Bishnoi gang? Thoughts? ख्याल आपका?
Yeah, yeah. Is it a gang? I thought there are some environmental avengers. They are trying to take revenge because, I mean, Salman had kind of disrespected their religious beliefs. And he's a very young guy. Lawrence is yet to grow up. So I don't know. And I read somewhere where Ram Gopal was saying that he wants to take me as a heroine of his movie. So where is the gang? I mean, I really don't think it's a proper developed gang yet.
Hello, Mr. Zaidi. Thank you for your fantastic books. Dongri to Dubai is one of my favorites.
Thank you, sir.
My question is about, of late, last 2-3 years, you've been hearing about certain mysterious killings in Pakistan by random shooters of some terrorists.
Yeah.
2 questions. Is the Dawood Ibrahim gang involved through random shooters in that? Or, second part of the question is the Indian government also hitting at the Dawood gang in Pakistan through these random shooters? Do you have any inkling about this?
If Indian government is doing it, then I should congratulate them. I should think, oh, fantastic, it's a big achievement. But as far as I know, that they are not capable of doing this. I mean, imagine they are killing a guy in Canada outside of Gurudwara, so openly and blatantly. They can't even kill a person properly.
But the string of killings of terrorists
Yeah,
which happened.
so there are some
is there an
agencies-
involvement about the Dawood
Not
gang?
Dawood's involvement. See, why would Dawood? He's a businessman. He doesn't do anything unless there's a profit in it, unless there's money in it. So those guys like Zahur Mistri, etc., some 24 guys have been killed in a span of 3 years.
Correct.
But they say it's some undercover agencies and not Dawood. So please don't try to credit him with those things which he is not, or which he will not for any reason.